Again, I just like to welcome you all on the Abba Organic Farm, Liberia Farmers Union, where we talk about agriculture, the importance of agriculture, and why should we be doing agriculture in 2024. And once more, I'd like to welcome you all, and I'm glad to be here tonight. My name is Madam Abba A. Anderson. If tonight is your first time joining me live, I wholeheartedly like to welcome you on this edition of the Abba Organic Farm, Liberia's Farmers Union. And this is where we, as Africans, focused on the growth and the development of agriculture in every area. So please fasten your seatbelts. Join me as we explore the importance of farming in 2024. So please share this video, get others connected, and we can all share ideas. The number on the screen can be used to contact me via WhatsApp just in case you have any contribution you would like to give under the show. We'd like you to also leave your comments and help us share this message across the globe. Thank you for joining the Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union.
Fellow Liberians, as we all have entered this year 2023, we have to stand strong in building our country's economy. In doing this, we need to focus on agriculture by going back to the soil, which will help us grow our food, that will help us sustain ourselves. It is often said, and I quote, "There's only one thing that can bring our country down and also has the potential of giving our country its bright color. Our dependence on foreign countries for food and energy have led us to be spectators of our country's economy, knowing that agriculture is the backbone of our country's economy. Fellow citizens, I argue you all join the Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union every Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Africa 24 Online TV with their host, Ma Abba A. Anderson, the CEO and founder of Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union. For our live educative section under the topic, let's educate our farmers.
Okay, so thank you for joining me on this edition, and I will start by introducing myself once more. My name is Madam Abba A. Anderson, and this is the platform that escalates agricultural activities across Africa. And tonight we are focusing on the topic, the significance of us farming in 2024. Why should we be talking about farming activities now? Why should it be relevant for us to discuss? Why should we even be focused on agriculture? This is why we brought this topic. 2024, Europe and America are in crisis in terms of food production. As it stands, those of us that are in Europe or are in America can attest to the prices rise of basic food commodities around the globe. Every supermarkets have the increase on prices. Family are struggling. Even here in England, family can barely meet up with their daily expenditure based on the constant price rise. And we are not just seeing it in one area or in one aspect, we are experiencing it to the point where in the UK, our inflation have rise. Family now are struggling. The economy is been tightening with leaving family with little or nothing that can be put aside as you live or work. The thing goes to the America. I have credible informations, and these informations are vital to what I'm saying. It's the same in Europe, in Holland, in Belgium, in Germany, and the rest of it. And all of these factors are increasing the need of food. That is on the general aspect. But then when you come to the organic aspect, where we will now be looking at not just food, but we are looking at the health. When we are talking about organic, we are talking about health related food. The food that can be able to help the body functions well. Here now, there is a statistic that says that at least 1 in every 5 human beings living on the planet Earth are likely to have cancers. The cancer rate has increased. And we are not saying that it is just at an increase and it's gone to a standstill. No, the increase continue to rise. It's like the increase has limited status where you would have the increase to its highest. And we can feel those things happening right in our various communities. Coupled by the war. If we look at the financial standings of many countries, you will now understand that the strength of those countries lies in the production of food and basic commodities that sustains them. But the world is getting into famine. A lot of countries are struggling. And I'm saying this, if you don't believe me, I want you to take upon your time and do your own research. You can always get back to me. These are credible facts. And it left for us as farmers. It left for us as farmers to rescue our nations. Wherever you are watching me from, what are you from? Ghana? You from Guinea? You from Mali? You from Senegal? You from India? You from Haiti? Wherever place you find yourself watching me tonight, I would just want you to take into account that whatever we are working for, whatever we are using our energy for, if we do not have the right food and the right nutrition in place, we are heading for disaster. And 2024 have tested and proven to us that in the absence of full production, the hospitals will not just only be filled, but the graveyards will be filled also. And this is why I'm here to speak to us. Farmers in all parts of the world. This is not only limited to a particular region, because I think this is not just going to solve one problem, but it's going to solve multiple problems. And if we are looking at the solving of multiple problems, we should also be looking at bringing us as a team together to tackle this as a growing challenge. The hospitals are getting filled with sicknesses that is yet to be diagnosed. And even those that have been diagnosed have given us life-threatening sicknesses or short lifespan. And I think we have more in us that we can do to help the situation, to help our brothers and sisters, to create an environment that allows us to live and that can help nations from inflation. As we are experiencing war in the Middle East, it affects Europe and Africa. And this is why right now the prices of basic commodities begin to, become very unstable because there are growing demands and there are less production. And we all know that the population are on the increase. People might even give you figures for which I'm still doubting. Why? Because we have children born in places that there is no medical facilities, no internet services, and besides, they are like isolated out of the world. There's no connectivities to their lives. So how do we determine how many billions of people on the planet when everyone cannot be counted? It's an estimate. And this is why I do not want to focus on the estimate. I'm really wanting to look at the need that is arising. There are so many things now that contribute to the growing needs of farming activities. Like I said, the war in the Middle East. The Middle East holds another strong hold to the development of Europe and Africa. The Middle East is in the midst. And if there's a war going on in the Middle East, where it's been projected that there is no farming activities going on to those war zones, but yet people are still meant to be eating to survive, then we now understand that that effects has a major implication to the food production. Because if there was no war, those countries would have been producing them, food that would sustain their family or the nation. But the fact that there is war, and we also having different war. And every time where there is war, there is a need. And where there is a need, we must step in. Today, if you look at the news, it's there clear that many of the people that are dying today in Palestine or the rest of the different countries are crying for food. If you look at the news critically, it's not that they are afraid of the guns that is mostly their greatest worry, but the fear of hunger is trapping the nations. And it affects us even here, like I said. Every friend or family members that you have here, you can call them to verify these things that I'm saying here live. That are increased in basic needs, where our salary does not match our expenditure. That is why inflation is still on the rise. And I take this time to appeal to us as farmers to not fold our hands and allow this to happen, because we are meant to save lives. We are the doctors that are I would say the first aid doctors who must be there before anything else happens. Before we can talk about food, we can talk about medication, we must first seek that the body nutrition are up there to have the right food in place. And this is why we cannot exempt ourselves from what is actually unfolding in the world. The truth is inside of us. We can see on the news that many are starving to death. If you look at BBC, Al Jazeera, and the rest of the news online, you get facts from there. It is not just stories. Go into the business news and you will also find out that the war is not just a war with bullets, but we also have economic war that is taking us all by the feet. And we know if there's nothing that will be done now, there's even going to be an increase in what is happening. Because as we are in 2024, if there is nothing that is going to be done, I am telling you, by 2025, we will now also be struggling to even have a plate of food served on our various tables. And these are things that I want us as farmers to grab our attention to. We might have been farming for years with less income and less interest from our leaders, or less of investment from investors. But I want us to use this time to escalate, because the truth is becoming a reality. And this reality is falling right now in the eyes of us all. Look at the health rate. When we are talking about 1 in every 5 human beings that is projected to have cancer, what does that mean? That means that there's going to be an outbreak of cancer. Even now, 2024, we're starting to hear the name cancer more than it was before. We know cancer has been around. We understand that cancer has been around. But now, it's not just being around. There is so much of awareness that is going on. That tells you this sickness is taking a toll on us. And majority of why it's happening is because of the kind of food that we are taking in. We may not have all the diagnosis to actually be and bring this up as a fact. But we know the food has a contribution. And if we are not eating the right food, definitely we are heading to something different. And this is why I want to encourage us that as we farm, we should also realize that we are contributing to lives. We are contributing to the safety of our community, our society, and the world. And whatever we are doing, let us be able to minimize the pollution of chemical in our productions. Even though you want to see fresh fruits and vegetables, but I want you to also understand the consequences of those fresh foods that we eat, the chemical that is applied to them, that make them so, mouth watering, that make people wanting to have them. I want us to really take into account that this food that we produce is contributing to many of our friends, our family, going into hospitals. And I want us to look at the way forward. I'm not saying do not have any other fertilizers, but I'm also wanting you to understand the impact of your action. Because when you make a farm, it is not only for you and your family, but it is for the public. And whenever there is an outbreak in the community, that affects us all. I want us to start to channel our strength in organic farming. I want us to understand that yet it is good to make big farms and have more growth, but I want us to understand that seeing people being affected by health conditions that will make their lives short, that we can also be a help to extend their livelihood and give them that joy of producing organic fruits and vegetables. And let those food become accessible and affordable. I know it is hard, but let us look at the reasons behind this. The fact that we can be able to live, the fact that we can be able to save lives, the fact that we can be able to bring in the community a safe environment, I think it worth more than the money that we will want to have. Having the money in the account and your friends or your family losing their lives in the hands of cancer, it's outrageous. I want us to look at the implications of what we do as farmers. We hold the word. We feed the word. We are the voice of the word. What we say is what happens. Where there is no food, there is no life. And if we are the life of the word, we must take responsibility at a certain extent when we see things that we can avoid. Let us contribute to the world immensely through a positive way. And I'm not stopping people from not having other farm, but I'm just asking you to minimize these chemicals. Minimize them because it's having an effect on the life of so many people. These chemicals to preserve this food, to make them, very nice, to make them bigger, to make them look and appeal to the heart and water in the mouth is good. But there is something beyond that, and that is the health that we all are looking for. We must have the money, but we need a good health. And we can give the good health to the world. If only we can adapt into doing the right things. Organic farming 2024 is the right way. The organic farming will give us the yield. And I will be coming back to teach you the methods in which you can apply it to your organic farming. Very, very less cost farming, but above it all, saving the community. My message tonight, if you have never seen or have never been part of or never understood why organic farming, why do we want to encourage more, farmers into organic farming? It's because it is rewarding. The reward is higher than the income. And if we all start to adopt those ideas, that if we can farm and those fruits or these vegetables or the food that we produce does not cause harm to the body, I think this will mean very well to us. And I want to use this opportunity to encourage new farmers to join. Because the farming business or the agricultural business is going to be billions of dollars soon. Because there is a market, I will not lie to you. And there are going to remain a market. There are going to remain a market. Why? Because there are increase in population everywhere. And even if you plant a corn, your corn can yield and you will have a market for it. But let us engage in the right farming and let this farming be our source. I want to make us aware that despite the fact that we have so many challenges, I want us to realize the reward is great. The organic farming is one of the best ways. We can use different menus, which I will encourage you to follow the page because I will be bringing more live videos on how to create menus that will turn into fertilizers and how these menus are going to be used and what time you should use them and how we will prepare the soil. So all of these things, I want you to continue to follow me. We will talk about the soil preparation. We will talk about applications. We will talk about seedings. We will also be talking about maintenance. And we will also be talking about harvest and marketing. So we are starting this topic, and these topics are going to be there. Hello, sis. Maybe hello, good evening to you, and you are saying hello to me. Yes, I would like to say thank you. And others that are watching me from different platforms. I want us to really look at this critical analysis on how our farming activities impact the world. What is the strength of what we do, and how much do we stand to gain? If we are meant to save life, we should be able to save life. There is so much going on in the health sector. I know in places that are very rare to do medical checkups. So people do not know the health risks. But where we are, that has a lot of information to our fingertips that give us the insight of the health race of so many things that we eat. It is very, very troubling. And I want us to realize that if we can start using our soil in Africa for the better use, we will not have a depleted soil. And we will have growth. Because this chemical, not just that it has an impact on what we eat, it also has the impact for the soil. It takes away nutrients that the soil needs for the growth of every plant. And if Africa remains one of the places on the planet Earth, a virgin soil that we can use for growth, let us use it positively. Because this is what we need now. Europe is 100% chemical or no food. Chemical or no food. Because the soil has lost almost all of its values. The weather have impacts on things to grow. So at that rate, the growth must increase because the expenditure are more. And this is why you walk into a supermarket, 1 a.m., you will find everything there. It is not that those things actually grow at that time, but because they preserve it. And most of these things that they are using to preserve food contributes a lot more to the health rates that is happening in the community. We have tons of sicknesses that is just going around. And that is why we are experiencing a huge death rate with low impacts. We are yet to understand that our immune systems are going out. Many of us now, we are suffering from a good immune system. All of these things has a contribution. And the food plays a major role. We have lost a lot of family from the hands of cancer and other related sicknesses. And we shouldn't sit down and continue to allow these things happen. As farmers, I think we got our role to play. And I know we can do this better if we are supported with ideas. And if we are educated to do this. I want to encourage you to join and follow the other organic farm, where we will always be telling you the truth that leads to life expectancy. We want to encourage people to live long. We want to have money in our accounts, indeed, but our goal is not the money. Our goal is actually living life to the fullest. Making food affordable and accessible. And not just any food. Making organic food cheaper that every family can afford. The Europe and America, organic food becomes a goal. Before you can be able to afford it, you must know that you have an income, because the food prices consistently increasing. A family of 4 or 5, you are desperate to have food, but yet you cannot afford the right food. And this is why we are working. And I know you watch me from different countries. And I want us to come together. Because you can produce food in Guyana, and we can make sure your food have a market here. And even if you produce food in Togo, we want you to know that your food must have a market. Long gone is these days, it's those days where when you produce your food, you wash it damaged or it's been sold for cheaper prices. The other organic farm is working hard. And very soon, we will encourage you who has your farm in different countries to get in touch with us so that we can know where we can get your food from and how we can get it onto the markets in Europe and America. We are working on that. And I want you to be rest assured that it's no more long distance. We are focused on improving the livelihood of farmers also, because we cannot improve the community in the absence of the farmers. And I want us to know that we have to now stand up tall, especially those of us that have been in Africa farming for years, especially for those of us who have so much passion for food. And growing our own food has been a lot of challenge. We want you to know that food is the way out. We can do this together. When the Chinese got the idea, they went on it. And today, China is feeding the world. China is doing a lot. It took the Chinese to understand that little thing that I'm explaining to you here today. It took the Chinese to come together and conquer the world today. There is not a country in Africa and the rest of the world whom has no idea or has no Chinese products in their country. Every country has a Chinese product. And I think we can adapt. I think we can learn from those things. I think we can build Africa and the rest of the world if only we can understand we need to do the right thing. Investing in agriculture is a plus. It's a win-win-win. You cannot lose if only you do the right thing. Know the right soil, plant the right crops at the right time, maintain it right. And you will see that everything in agriculture is right. Anything you do in agriculture is right. And this is why I like to encourage you to do. I like you to understand that together we can develop, we can bring about a better world. We can save lives, and we can contribute to our society immensely. Beyond that, we can put smiles on people's faces. And this is our aim and objective. And we will achieve this. We can start with what we have. And let us do it well. Let us grow our community with organic food. Let us develop our land organically. Let us produce food that will contribute to the growth of our society. It hurts to continue to lose your family or your friend or your community in a lack of good health. We all perish. Save life by going to agriculture and going through the organic means. save your nation, develop your world by using these methods. And so I will encourage you to continue to follow this page to get complete insight and understanding of the soil needs, the right fertilizers, and how to apply those fertilizers. What seeds are meant to be sown, in what time and where you are meant to sow those seeds. All of these things are going to be here. I want you to join me next Saturday as I will be bringing you some ideas of how to produce your own organic fertilizer. Something that can change your life. Something that you may have had just at the back of your house or your garden or your farm that you can use. And it helps you to produce a nutritional food that escalates the health care of friends and family around you or the general public. If tonight you have just joined, I'd like you to continue, like I said, part of this page, where we will continue to talk about agriculture. And if you want to be a part of the show, we ask you to please leave a comment, leave us your telephone numbers, and maybe you have some contribution. We can bring you on. Maybe you are finally in a place and you need some answers, and maybe you have been searching for some things and you are yet to come to it. Let us share these ideas. There is no one expert. We all can contribute and we can be a better person. So if you are a cassava farmer, a rice farmer, whatever farming activities you find yourself in, we encourage you to continue to follow the one and only the Abba Organic Farm, Liberia Farmers Union. Let us build our world with passion of food production that gives life and build our society. On behalf of the Abba Organic Farm, we'd like to say a massive welcome and we say thank you for watching us. Please help us to share this video and be a part of generational change by sharing this message to your community. God bless you. My name is Madam Abba A. Anderson. Be with me next Saturday. I will be here around 7:30 p.m. African time. God bless you. West African time. God bless you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Fellow Liberians, as we all have entered this year 2023, we have to stand strong in building our country's economy. In doing this, we need to focus on agriculture by going back to the soil, which will help us grow our food, that will help us sustain ourselves. It is often said, and I quote, "There's only one thing that can bring our country down and also has the potential of giving our country its bright color. Our dependence on foreign countries for food and energy have led us to be spectators of our country's economy, knowing that agriculture is the backbone of our country's economy. Fellow citizens, I argue you all join the Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union every Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Africa 24 Online TV with their host, Ma Abba A. Anderson, the CEO and founder of Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union. For our live educative section under the topic, let's educate our farmers.